Hey guys, Cajun Chef here. Today I'm going to show you how to make a roux. All you need for a roux is oil and flour. I made this roux over the weekend for people that came over, and basically I turned it into a gumbo. I grabbed my heaviest black pot and I added oil to it. Once the oil gets hot, I heat the oil up until it gets hot. Then I add the flour. So I'm going to wait till it gets hot. Time's passed. It should be hot now. And let's see. Yep, it's hot. So I'm going to add the flour a little bit. I always use a whisk. I used to use a spoon, but then I learned a trick about a whisk, and a whisk is a lot easier for me to stir in the roux than it was with a spoon. I found that I could get more movement out of the oil and move the flour and oil off the bottom so it doesn't burn a lot easier. Once you burn a roux, you might as well throw it out and start over because you're never going to get rid of the burnt taste and the little black flakes that are going to float around everywhere. So I added 2 cups of flour. I started off with 2 cups of oil. And I'm going to add 2 cups of flour to start and see how thick that is. Probably going to have to end up adding more till it gets to the right thickness. And I'll show you guys later what that thickness is. Stirring. The one thing about a roux, you will stir a lot. So I have to keep switching hands because my hands start hurting after a while and I have to switch and stir with the other hand. Like that. Stir it. And I like to put my stove on medium high to start. And the darker it gets, as it gets darker, I start to lower it. I'm going to speed it up here, guys, and show you. I'm going to keep adding flour, as you see here, and stirring. I can't really stir that fast, however, I wish I could. Stir, 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 and stir some more. But eventually, I promise you, it will get darker. And once it starts getting darker, I'm going to show you guys that later, but first I'm going to show you the consistencies that I'm trying to get before I stop adding flour. And I fast forwarded this video, as you probably can tell, to show you guys what it's like when it's done without waiting 20 minutes for it to get there. So I'm going to continue to add flour just a little bit at a time at this point, because if you add too much flour, then you have to go back and add more oil, and eventually you'll make way more roux than you need. So I start off with equal portions, so 2 cups of oil, 2 cups of flour, and I add, and that's 2 cups of flour by measuring cups, not by weight. And here, this is about right. This is good thickness. So I like to keep it about like that, and you can already tell it's kind of starting to get between white and a peanut buttery color. It's pretty close to peanut butter, actually. And sorry guys, in this video, there's not really much more to show you other than me stirring. Because that's literally what you find yourself doing the entire time, is stirring. As you can see, I sped it up. I was tired of videoing it, so I just went ahead and threw it in 10 minutes later. Now this is getting really pretty. And what I enjoy is the smell. At this point, it starts to smell nutty, and it's pretty close. So what I'm going to want to do pretty soon is lower this from medium high to medium. Because what you don't want to do is come this far, 20-25 minutes into stirring continuously, and then burn it. Because that's like getting punched in the stomach. It sucks. And you'll have to start all over with new flour and new oil and stirring until your arm falls off. As it gets closer to the consistency and the color that I want it to be, I'm going to turn it off, because what I don't want to do is ruin it. And I do have to apologize, I forgot to film where I added the onions. But as you can tell, the onions are in there. I moved it off of the burner. You can see it's a little bit over to the side from where I was cooking it, because I don't want it to burn. The cast iron pot that I'm cooking it in it's going to stay hot and continue to put heat to the roux and make it darker. So what I do now is I added the onions, and the onions are going to give it some water, and it's going to cause the roux to thicken a little bit. Once I get the onions to the color a little bit translucent, I'm going to add water, and I'm going to let that thicken. Now this was a roux I made for the following day. Otherwise, I would just add water to this until it became a liquid, and then I would pour it into a bigger pot. Because I really like making my roux in cast iron pots. Here's a picture of the roux. This is after it's done. I added the water. I'm done stirring it. Do you see that onion right up in the front? You can see it pretty good. It's clear. And that's perfect. Tomorrow I'm going to add bell peppers, garlic, but I'm going to show you that in the gumbo video. So be sure to look for that gumbo video. Guys, if this video helped you make a roux, or any of my videos help you cook anything any better, please do me a favor and subscribe. As I would like to continue to make videos, maybe you can recommend or request that I cook something and make a video on it. I would love to be able to do that because I really love to cook and eat what I cook, probably a little more. But I appreciate it, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.